Hey gamers, welcome back to Madman Gaming, the place where we live and breathe gaming. Today, we're diving into something extra special, 15 games I'd honestly rate a perfect 10 out of 10. I'm talking about those rare games that stick with you forever, where every moment feels epic, every memory hits hard, and even years later, you're still thinking about them. Some of these might already be your all-time favorites, and a few might completely surprise you. Before we jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash the like button if you love gaming as much as we do. It really helps the channel grow and lets me keep bringing you lists packed with games that are absolutely worth your time. All right, let's get into it. The Last of Us Part 2 is game storytelling at its boldest. Naughty Dog took massive risks with its narrative, delivering one of the most divisive yet emotionally powerful stories in gaming history. Love it or hate it, one thing is undeniable. You feel something while playing it. The gameplay is brutal, fluid, and deeply immersive, with stealth and combat blending together seamlessly. Every encounter feels tense, grounded, and personal. The environments are jaw-droppingly detailed, with every corner telling its own quiet story. And the performances? Absolutely Oscar-worthy. The motion capture, voice acting, and emotional weight are on another level. Ellie's journey is painful, raw, and unforgettable. It's a story about loss, obsession, and the cost of revenge, and it doesn't pull its punches. For me, The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the boldest and most emotional games ever created. It's a game that stays with you long after the credits roll, and that's why it earns a perfect 10 out of 10. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is the gold standard for RPGs. Geralt of Rivia's journey is massive in scope, filled with unforgettable side quests that are often better written than the main stories of entire games. Every decision you make feels meaningful, shaping the world and its characters in ways that genuinely surprise you. The expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, are practically full games on their own, each introducing new lands, powerful stories, and memorable characters. Combat may take some time to master, but once it clicks, blending swordplay with signs and alchemy feels incredibly satisfying. And the soundtrack? Pure magic, perfectly capturing the soul of its world. Few games create a fantasy universe that feels as alive and believable as The Witcher 3. It's a timeless masterpiece, and a game that earns its 10 out of 10 every single time. Days Gone is a bit controversial, but for me, it's criminally underrated. Riding through the broken roads of Oregon on Deacon's bike while facing massive hordes of freakers is an experience unlike anything else. The open world feels alive with dynamic weather, day-night cycles, and unpredictable events that constantly keep you on edge. The story is surprisingly emotional, diving into themes of loyalty, survival, and redemption. It gives the game a heart that many people didn't expect. And let's be honest, very few games capture the pure panic and tension of being hunted by hundreds of zombies at once, the way Days Gone does. Those horde encounters are absolutely unforgettable. The bike upgrade system also creates a strong personal connection to your ride, making every journey feel important. While it's not perfect on a technical level, emotionally and gameplay-wise, Days Gone is an easy 10 out of 10 in my book. Expedition 33 is one of those rare titles that already feels legendary from its launches. The art direction alone makes it look like a living painting, dreamlike environments that are both beautiful and unsettling, pulling you into a surreal fantasy world that feels truly unique. What really sets Expedition 33 apart is its combat system. It blends classic turn-based strategy with rhythm-based mechanics, meaning it's not just about selecting commands, it's about timing, precision, and immersion. Every action feels deliberate and engaging. On top of that, the game looks ready to redefine RPG storytelling. Every gameplay so far screams originality, confidence, and creative vision. The developers have delivered on what they've shown us on the announcement, and because of that, Expedition 33 has become one of the most creative RPGs of this generation, a true 10 out of 10. Resident Evil 7 is a perfect example of how to reinvent a franchise. It pulled Resident Evil away from action-heavy chaos and brought it back to pure survival horror, and it did so in the creepiest way possible. The shift to a first-person perspective completely changed the experience, making every moment feel intimate and terrifying. Exploring the Baker family's twisted mansion is unforgettable, with atmosphere dripping from every corner. The sound design alone keeps you on edge. Every creak, every distant whisper makes your heart race. This was also the game that proved Capcom wasn't afraid to take risks, and those risks paid off in a big way. From grotesque encounters with Jack Baker to nerve-wracking escapes, RE7 delivers relentless tension from start to finish. It's survival horror done right, and for me, that makes Resident Evil 7 a flawless 10 out of 10. Horizon Forbidden West takes everything that made Horizon Zero Dawn great and cranks it up to the next level. Aloy's journey continues in a breathtaking post-apocalyptic world filled with towering mechanical beasts, and every moment feels visually stunning. The open world is massive and incredibly diverse, with environments ranging from scorching deserts to dense jungles and haunting underwater ruins. Combat feels more refined than ever, giving you countless ways to take down enemies using bows, traps, gadgets, and smart tactics. Every encounter feels dynamic and rewarding. The story also goes deeper into the mysteries of the old world, raising the stakes and pushing humanity's survival to the brink. On top of that, Guerrilla Games absolutely nailed the character work. Aloy stands tall as one of gaming's best modern protagonists, strong, complex, and memorable. Visually stunning, emotionally gripping, and mechanically satisfying, Horizon Forbidden West is a true masterpiece and an easy 10 out of 10 experience. Ghost of Tsushima is one of the most visually stunning games ever made. Few titles capture the beauty of Japan the way this one does. Every frame feels like a living painting, from golden fields swaying in the wind to snow-covered mountains and crimson leaf forests. The combat system strikes a perfect balance between precise samurai duels and stealth-based gameplay, making every encounter feel intense, stylish, and deeply satisfying. You truly feel like a warrior mastering the blade. The story is powerful and emotional, exploring themes of honor, loyalty, and sacrifice as Jin Sakai struggles between tradition and survival. It's personal, grounded, and unforgettable. The Kurosawa mode is the cherry on top, a beautiful love letter to classic samurai cinema that completely transforms the experience. And with the addition of the Legends co-op mode, the game offers even more depth beyond the main story. Ghost of Tsushima isn't just a game, it's a tribute to Japanese culture and storytelling. For me, it's an easy 10 out of 10. Bloodborne is always at the top of the list when people talk about PS4 classics that defined an era. It's brutal, unforgiving, and gothic to its very core. The combat doesn't let you hide behind a shield like in Dark Souls. Instead, it pushes you to be aggressive, forcing you up close and personal, rewarding boldness with health regeneration. And the setting? Absolutely unforgettable. Victorian horror streets drenched in atmosphere, filled with grotesque creatures pulled straight from a nightmare. Every corner feels dangerous, every step filled with tension. The boss fights are twisted works of art, from Father Gascoigne to the Orphan of Kos. Each encounter is intense, memorable, and dripping with dark creativity. For me, Bloodborne is the definition of a masterpiece. Challenging, atmospheric, and endlessly replayable. If you've never played it, you're missing out on one of gaming's purest 10 out of 10 experiences. Yakuza 0 is where it all began for many fans of the franchise, and what a ride it is. This game perfectly balances a gripping crime drama with some of the wackiest side content you'll ever experience in gaming. One minute you're throwing down with rival gangsters in brutal street brawls, and the next you're singing karaoke or managing a cabaret club. The dual protagonists, Kazuma Kiryu and Goro Majima, each bring their own unique fighting styles and deeply emotional storylines, filled with powerful highs and heartbreaking lows. Set in 1980s Japan, the world absolutely oozes style and authenticity. From neon-lit streets to retro arcades, the atmosphere feels alive, vibrant, and unforgettable. It's hilarious, it's emotional, and it knows exactly when to be serious, which is why Yakuza 0 feels so special. It's a flawless entry point into the series and an easy 10 out of 10. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is the perfect send-off to one of gaming's greatest icons. Nathan Drake's final adventure delivers an emotional story that blends classic treasure hunting thrills with deeply personal stakes centered around family, legacy, and letting go. It feels mature, heartfelt, and earned. The set pieces are absolutely jaw-dropping. From explosive car chases to massive pirate ship battles, the game constantly finds new ways to surprise and impress you. Gameplay is smoother and more refined than ever, seamlessly combining climbing, shooting, stealth, and puzzle solving into the classic Uncharted formula. Everything just flows. And visually, it still stands among the best-looking games out there. Naughty Dog knew exactly how to close Nathan Drake's story, and they did it with style, heart, and confidence. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is a flawless finale and an easy 10 out of 10. God of War 2018 is nothing short of legendary. Kratos' reinvention in 2018 transformed him from a symbol of mindless rage into a deeper, more human character. This time, we see him navigating fatherhood alongside Atreus, struggling to guide his son while confronting his own violent past. The single-shot camera is a genius design choice, keeping you completely immersed from start to finish without ever breaking the experience. Combat is brutally satisfying, blending heavy melee attacks with powerful mythological abilities to create one of the most refined and impactful combat systems ever made. The Norse mythology setting is rich, mysterious, and fascinating, giving Kratos an entirely new world filled with gods, monsters, and legends to conquer. And that ending? Absolutely jaw-dropping. God of War 2018 is storytelling, gameplay, and design perfection rolled into one, and that's why it stands as one of the greatest games ever made. A flawless 10 out of 10.
Slow and old. You should never have come to Midgard.
Silent Hill 2 Remake is shaping up to be something truly special. Silent Hill 2 is already considered one of the greatest horror games ever made, and this remake looks ready to do justice to that legendary legacy. With modern visuals, improved combat, and enhanced storytelling, it has the potential to reintroduce true psychological horror to an entirely new generation of players. The original game set the gold standard for horror, with its fog-drenched streets, eerie silence, and haunting soundtrack that burrowed deep into your mind. It wasn't about cheap scares, it was about atmosphere, symbolism, and emotional dread. If Bloober Team manages to preserve that same unsettling tone while modernizing the gameplay, this remake could easily stand alongside the original as a masterpiece. And honestly, based on everything we've seen so far, it looks like they understand what made Silent Hill 2 special. If they deliver, this could be another easy 10 out of 10. Metro Exodus is one of the most immersive post-apocalyptic shooters ever made. It takes the claustrophobic tunnels of the earlier Metro games and expands them into sprawling, semi-open world regions without ever losing that tight, survival-focused gameplay. Every bullet feels valuable, every weapon feels handcrafted, and every environment tells a story. Traveling across Russia aboard a train with your crew gives the game a powerful sense of journey and connection. It's not just about survival, it's about the people you're surviving with. The atmosphere is constantly thick with tension. You never truly feel safe, whether you're facing mutated horrors or hostile human factions. And the storytelling? Emotional, grounded, and unforgettable. Metro Exodus proves that shooters can be just as thoughtful and impactful as any RPG, and that's exactly why it earns an easy 10 out of 10. A Plague Tale: Innocence was one of the most pleasant surprises of the last decade. A smaller studio delivered a deeply emotional and heart-wrenching story centered on Amicia and her younger brother Hugo trying to survive during the horrors of the Black Plague. It blends stealth-based gameplay with powerful storytelling in a way that feels both intimate and devastating. The rat swarms are absolutely terrifying, less like enemies and more like a force of nature. They introduce a unique gameplay mechanic that constantly keeps you thinking, planning, and panicking. What really makes the game special is how grounded it feels. You're not a superhero, you're just a young girl doing whatever it takes to protect her brother against impossible odds. The atmosphere is dark and oppressive, the music is haunting, and the story is genuinely touching. A Plague Tale: Innocence is the kind of game that quietly sneaks up on you and then stays with you long after it's over. A pure 10 out of 10 experience. Death Stranding is Hideo Kojima unleashed. It's definitely divisive, but purely in terms of creativity, it's a straight 10 out of 10. Delivering packages might not sound exciting on paper, but Kojima transforms it into something deeply philosophical, exploring themes of connection, isolation, loneliness, and rebuilding a fractured society. The landscapes are hauntingly beautiful, often feeling lonely and overwhelming in the best way possible. The soundtrack is emotional and perfectly placed, turning quiet moments into powerful experiences. The performances are outstanding, especially Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen, who bring real depth and humanity to an already strange and ambitious world. Death Stranding forces you to slow down, to think, and to truly experience the journey rather than rush through it. There's nothing else quite like it. Whether you love it or hate it, Death Stranding is unforgettable, and that alone earns it masterpiece status in my eyes. And there you have it, gamers. 15 perfect 10 out of 10 games that every player needs to experience at least once. From emotional storytelling to jaw-dropping visuals and unforgettable gameplay, these are the titles that define what gaming can truly be. Now, I want to hear from you. Which one of these is your personal favorite? And did I miss a 10 out of 10 game that deserved a spot on this list? Drop your picks in the comments below. I love reading your takes. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Madman Gaming, and ring the bell so you never miss out on the best gaming content. Until next time, keep gaming, keep exploring, and keep playing legendary games.